Hi, guys. Welcome back. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Have a great topic. Now that we're getting into that time of year that is all about thinking about the next year and reflecting on what you've done over the past year, I want to talk about how you can make forward progress on your goals in the new year. But I want to remove a lot of that pressure around having it be this monumental shift and these huge New Year's resolutions that feel really hard to stick to and things that you don't do in your day-to-day life now or that you don't even like I'm not going to have this be a message about how to start running if you hate running, right? Or to run for an hour and a half every day if that's not your thing. What I really want you to take away at the end of this is feeling like you have something that is going to move the needle on who you want to become in the new year, and something that you want to create and something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, but it's something that you now know you can be consistent with, that you can love, and that you're actually looking forward to implementing. All right. So that is the vibe we're going for today. And I'm really excited because this changed so much for me once I started implementing it in my own business and life, whether it was in health, whether it was in business, whether it was in relationships. It's just all around like you're gonna love it. Okay. If we haven't met yet, hello, my name is Jessica Johnson, and I am the owner of a content marketing agency, which I created after leaving corporate America and having this winding path to figuring out entrepreneurship and what worked for me. So on my channel, I love to share all about all those things and try and just be really open about that path with you so that you know what it's like and you have encouragement around getting out there, getting started. You have a path to do it. You have tools. You know you can find even more support. Down below my videos, I put links to my programs or free trainings where I can share the path to freelance writing as a side hustle or online business if you're looking for more freedom and fulfillment, but also just a bunch of resources and inspiration like today's video to get you started regardless of whatever path feels right to you. All right, so here's what I want you to think about. Let's say that you have a dream, and maybe you do. So think about it in your head if you have it. If you have a dream to start a side hustle or a business in the new year, or start writing a book, or launch a podcast, or start a creative project, maybe a jewelry making business, maybe a home decor business or renovation business, whatever it may be, hold that thing in your mind. Picture it. I mean, see yourself like 1 year from now, having taken consistent effort on it, having your first clients or people messaging you, thanking you for putting your work into the world and what a difference it's made for them. Picture money coming in from it, supporting you in your life and your family and your community and your loved ones. Picture the fulfillment that you feel working on something that you love every day and having that in your life. Like hold that vision in your mind. Feels good, doesn't it? Here's the thing. And I want to be honest about this because here's what's at stake. If you don't take any actions that are different today, tomorrow, or over the next year, that thing won't happen. But it can come into form by taking a different action, which is going to lead to different results and outcomes in your life. So I've mentioned this before, but it's pretty understandable, right? Like same actions lead to the same results. So if you're going to the gym or not going to the gym, you get the same result, right? Like you not going to the gym gets you the same result. You starting to go to the gym gets you a different result. It's the same thing in life or business. So you taking a different action, you putting yourself out there, you posting on social media, you interfacing with clients, whatever it may be, gets you a very different result than not doing a thing or doing something else with your time. So here is what I want to talk about that can really help you get to that beautiful vision that you just held by this time next year. And that is choosing one small action that you can be consistent with. And I want this action to feel small enough that it's something that you feel like I could for sure do this thing if it was snowing outside, if I was busy, if I had a hard day, if it was long hours. What is something that you could for sure, no matter what, show up for yourself in your business or your dream with? So maybe, for example, and it doesn't even have to be a daily thing. It could be a weekly thing, right? But for you, maybe it is posting every day on social media, sharing something about your dream in the world on social, doing, just one social post that promotes your product, something like that. For you, maybe it could be having one networking meeting a week with someone who is further ahead in whatever you want to create, who you could learn from, who you could gain so much wisdom and value from in your life by having that one standing Thursday lunch meeting every single week with someone who inspires you. Maybe it's going once a week to a networking event and interfacing and meeting people who need a writer, right? A freelance writer. Maybe it's sending out 5 messages on LinkedIn to potential writing clients. Maybe it is not even a business goal. Maybe it's writing like 5 pages of your creative project or your book. Maybe it's publishing a podcast episode every week. What's one thing that just stands out in your mind? And you might need to journal on this or brainstorm a list, but you might also have something that speaks up. Life is funny like that, like your gut and your path and your intuition is always trying to help you and probably has something that might be coming to mind that you could do. What is that one thing? That's your first mission. Choose one thing you can be consistent with. And it's not saying that it'll be easy right away to be consistent with it. It might take a little bit of practice or a little bit of just like getting out there and getting out of your own way and getting out of the mindset that says you can't do it or you're too tired or like it won't work and just being like, but if it did, this would be amazing for me. This feels like something that I can do and should do. Okay, so that's first thing. The second thing is to find a way that you love doing that thing. All right. So, for example, I had to learn this with social media because for years, for years, I had this whole story around social media. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't like it. I didn't want to feel like I was live streaming my life. I like my, own just like life being feeling like it's for me and people not knowing where I am and what I'm eating and what I'm doing every second. I didn't like the feeling like, oh, if I was taking a trip, that it seemed like I was bragging, right? Or if I didn't post, that it seemed like I wasn't doing anything when maybe I was living a great day. So I just hated the whole feel of social media. So I had to find a way to make it feel fun to me and authentic to me and to feel like I loved doing it. And so for me, a lot of that became around moving it to something that felt like it was service, where I could share my art and my stories and my work and like little inspirational nuggets. If we don't follow each other, I'm at Hi Jessica Johnson on Instagram, and just making it fun and being like, I can make fun little reels, but like leave people with a little bit of hope every day. Right. So I can batch my work so that I don't feel like every day I'm spending an hour on Instagram. So the second thing I want you to brainstorm is how could I make this fun? If it's like a workout thing, if you decided that you can spend 15 minutes a day moving your body, don't choose the running if the running is not for you, right? Shoot what would be fun to you. What way would you love doing it? Is it going on a walk? For me, that's it. I don't want to be on a treadmill, but I love going on my morning walk in nature and getting my coffee and feeling the sun on my skin. I love that. I wake up early on the weekends. I look forward to it so much. So for you, is it dance? Is it stretching? Is it, I don't know, weightlifting? Is it boxing? Is it kayaking out in nature? Like, is it bike riding? Like, what's the way you could love doing this thing? If it is doing a creative project, how do you love doing it? Was there a certain setting that calls to you? Can you light candles? Can you play beautiful music? Can you have it be something that feels luxurious and relaxing and inspiring to your soul? If it's going out and meeting clients, what's the way you could do it where it feels like you could love it? Because here is the thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every single day. You don't have to find a new way to do this thing. The goal is really to find one thing you can be consistent with, find one way that you love doing it, and then repeat it over and over and over again. Because guess what? If you love doing it, you're going to want to keep doing it. And if you keep doing it, you're going to get some massive results from it. There's this huge myth in business, and something that I struggled with in the beginning is feeling like there's one right way to do things that you're like missing. That if you had this strategy, business would work, right? If you could do what they were doing, business would work. If you could figure out this one headline, business would work. If you had the right mix of channels, or if you were everywhere, that would be a way to do it. And that's really not true. What's true is, at least what I've seen in knowing countless women now who are built or $1 million business owners, and sometimes billion-dollar business owners, there's a million ways to make it work. The question is, what is the way that you can make work, that you can be consistent with, the channel you can show up consistently on, the project you can do consistently, the way you can get in front of people consistently. And the real trick is, how can you love it? How can you find a way to do it that you love? And then just repeat and do that over and over and over again, all the way to your goals. Now, you will find inspired ideas along the way. You might find ways that you love even more that you didn't even see when you started out. You might find little tips or tricks or conversations that inspire you and propel you forward faster. But it's going to be the consistency that really leads to the result. What I've really realized along the way is that all these people who have these big businesses and who are years ahead, there's nothing that, like, they have that's special, that's different from what you have or what I have. They're years ahead because they got started years ago. They're years ahead because they got started years ahead of me. That's why they seem like they're so far ahead, because they started ahead. So the same can be true for you. It's not to say you can't have the business. You can't have the book. You can't have the podcast. Your path will be different than anyone else's, but that is absolutely there for you. Chances are that anyone that you are now looking up to just got started a little bit ahead of you, and they've just kept at it and stayed consistent and not fallen off and not given up. That is like the game. And they have found a way to do it that feels right to them and aligns for them, and they love, and people can feel that, and it allows them to keep showing up. So that is really your mission, I think, for this new year. It's not to find this Herculean effort. It's not to change everything, to add all the new platforms, to like force yourself to be in all the places, to like blow up your life and like start fresh. Sure, if you want to, but think about where you want to be, that beautiful vision you had at the beginning of our conversation. Think of one action that you could be consistent with every day or every week to get you there. And then think of a way that you could do it that you like love, that feels really good to you, because that's how you're going to show up and be consistent. And my last challenge to you would be to think of something today that you can do to get started, because these conversations are nice and they're going to give you some ideas, but you have a full day ahead, conversations and deadlines and emails and messages and people and tasks and errands, and it's going to get lost. And like, some parts will stay in there and you'll remember them a week or two now. But the way to really cement it is to take action today, even if it's one small action. If you decided to post consistently on social media, do your first post. Test out a way to see if you like it and you love it. That's the goal, to find the way that you love. And if today's way is not it, show up consistently again tomorrow and try something different. You know, if your way is to, if you are going to start that business or that side hustle, maybe you sign up for the course. Maybe you check below this video when you get into my program, and I can mentor you for the next 8 weeks and give you a solid foundation. You know, maybe it's like messaging that person that you've been wanting to have lunch with. You'd be surprised how many people are open to meeting with other people and helping other people just because you reached out and had the courage to do it. I've messaged authors that I looked up to and said, "Can I have 15 minutes of your time? I've always looked up to you. I love your books." And they've given me that time, right? They don't know me. I've never met them before. They don't even know I was like 20 years old. People are very generous if you're willing to put yourself in front of them. Maybe not everyone, but majority are, right? So maybe there's just an action that you can take today. If it's thinking of the title of your book or your podcast, if it's getting the software, if it's whatever it may be for you, right? Booking the class, thinking through those things and taking action today to start to create that different result and to signal that this is now going to be a habit that's part of your life. And it may take a few weeks for it to feel routine, but you getting started today means that a few weeks from now, a month from now, you'll have this habit in your life. You'll have hopefully found a way of doing it that you love, and that will make it easy to be consistent. So, this time when we're talking next year, we're going to be talking about even different goals, even different dreams, even bigger places you can go, all because you spent this year being so consistent, which has grown you a following and clients and income and a business and maybe freedom and certainly more fulfillment. and all from this little small action that you loved. So I hope this gives you some ideas. I hope it breaks it down and takes away all the allure of the resolutions and all the complex, fancy things you may have to do or feel like you have to, and gives you permission to keep it simple and to keep it aligned and keep it to something that you love, but to know that that is the thing that will make the difference. And you don't need all the other bells and whistles and fancy things as much as you just need this consistency and this way of being consistent that really lights you up, because other people will feel that and you'll be able to show up over and over again on the way to your goal. I hope this is helpful. Comment below, send me a DM if it is. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I hope this really sparks ideas that just lead to this ripple effect of fulfillment and excitement and passion in your life. So thank you again, and I'll see you next week.